Questions 1 through 10 on the 2004 Grade 8 AMC 8. On a map, a 12 centimeter length represents 72 kilometers. How many kilometers does a 17 centimeter length represent? So the ratio is 12 centimeters over 72 kilometers. And that is known as a key or a scale on most maps. And we are told that we've got a 17 centimeter length on this map. How many kilometers does it represent? So that's essentially the mathematical equation. All right. Cross multiply, you get 12x is equal to 17 times 72. And then x is therefore 17 times 72 divided by 12. 72 divided by 12 is 6. So this becomes 17 times 6, and 17 times 6 is 102. So 102 kilometers is the actual length in real life of that 17 centimeter length on the map. So the answer to number 1 is B. How many different 4-digit numbers can be formed by rearranging the 4 digits in 2004? Right, normally, when you have this kind of a question, you use the following system. You say, okay, I've got 4 digits, right? So on the 4th digit system, the very first one, I've got 4 choices. Second one, I've got 3 choices, then 2 choices, then 1. And I just multiply them. And this gives me 24. All right, the answer is D. Let's move on. But please don't make that mistake. That will be heartbreaking. Why? Why can't I make that kind of a system in this question? Well, there's a couple of reasons, actually. The first is that you've got 2 zeros. So that basically makes this null and void in sort of a certain way. But there's a bigger reason, is that if you take zeros and put them as the first digit, it's no longer a 4-digit number, right? It's a 3-digit number. Like, for example, if I did this, right? I rearranged the numbers, or the digits, I should say, in 2004. It's no longer a 4-digit number. So this system, unfortunately, even though it's quick, easy, it can't be used. But no problem. We basically want 4-digit numbers, right? All right, no problem. We can't use 0 as the first digit, because if we did, it would create a 3-digit number. Or actually, if we use 2 zeros like that, it would create a 2-digit number. So zeros are gone. They're not going to be used. So the only digit I can use as my first digit is either a 2 or a 4. So what I will do is I'll just write all the possibilities for 2 and 4. So for 2, I've got 2004. I've got 2, 0, 4, 0. 2400, and I believe that's it. These are the only possibilities. For 4 as my first digit, I've got, let's see, 4002, 4020, and 4200. Those are the only possibilities. So I've got 3 here, I've got 3 here, and that is 6. So number 2, the answer is B. "12 friends met for dinner at Oscar's Overstuffed Oyster House, and each ordered 1 meal. The portions were so large, there was enough food for 18 people. If they share, how many meals should they have ordered to have just enough food for the 12 of them?" So basically, this means that 12 meals is good enough for 18 people, right? There was 12, they each ordered 1 meal, but when the food came, there was enough food for 18 people. That is our relationship. Now they're saying, figure out how many meals they should have ordered to make it sufficient for 12 people, for 12 of them. So, how many meals? All right, no problem. So this is yet one of those relationship cross-multiply questions. So cross multiply, you get 12 times 12 is equal to 18x. 12 times 12 is 144, 18x. And then 144 divided by 18 is equal to x. So let's hear 72 over 9. 72 divided by 9 is 8. So there you go. X meals, if there was 8 meals that they ordered at this restaurant that has large portions, that would be enough food for 12 of them. So the answer to number 3 is A. The following information is needed to solve problems 4, 5, and 6. Miss Hamilton's 8th grade class wants to participate in an annual 3-person team basketball tournament. Lance, Sally, Joe, and Fred are chosen for the team. In how many ways can the 3 starters be chosen? Well, we only want 3 people to play. So we've got the following scenarios. No Lance. Lance has to sit on the bench. So if that's the case, the starters will be Sally, Joe, and Fred. The other way is no Sally. She sits on the bench. If that's the case, the starters will be Lance, Joy, and Fred. No Joy, no Happiness. So Lance, Sally, and Fred are the starters. And finally, no Fred. It will be Lance, Sally, and Joy. So how many scenarios? I got 4 of them. And therefore, number 4, the answer is B. Number 5, the losing team of each game is eliminated from the tournament. If 16 teams compete, how many games will be played to determine the winner? Well, some of you sports fans are very familiar with something known as a bracket. Any championship, whether it's an NBA, NCAA, there's always brackets, right? And those of you that are big sports fans know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'll draw 16 teams. So each of these lines represent 16 teams, right? And then remember, 2 teams play, the winner advances, like that. And then same thing happens on the next round. Those teams play, the winner advances. And then I think we're at the quarterfinals now, or semifinals, whatever. And then the final 2 teams play, and then you get a champion here. It's the same thing at the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, and pretty much any tournament. So there's 16 teams, right? So how many times did we have a game in the first round here? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games right there, right? Next round we had 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Next round we had, this is the semifinals, 1, 2, 2, and then finally there's 1 match, and that's basically the final. So 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 is 15 games had to be played in this single elimination type of tournament. So number 5, the answer is 15, which would be D. After Sally takes 20 shots, she has made 55% of her shots. After she takes 5 more shots, she raises her percentage to 56%. How many of the last 5 shots did she make? Right, so X over 20 is 55%. So that's initially what they tell you in the question. So solving for this, 0.55 times 20 is 11. So initially she makes 11 of her shots. And then she's going to take another 5 shots. So the denominator becomes 20 plus 5. And then on the numerator, we don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. I'll just write S for shots. S looks awfully similar to that 5, so I'll just write Z. So we're interested in the Z. Of these 5 shots that she takes, how many does she get in the hoop? And that is 56%, so 0.56. So now you just solve this. So 11 plus Z is going to be 0.56 times 25, correct? And then 11 plus z, 0.56 times 25 is equal to 14, and therefore z is 14 minus 11, and therefore z is equal to 3. So basically, of the last 5 shots, she had to make 3 in order for her percentage to rise to 56. So number 6, the answer is C. An athlete's target heart rate in beats per minute is 80% of the theoretical maximum heart rate. The maximum heart rate is found by subtracting the athlete's age in years from 220. To the nearest whole number, what is the target heart rate of an athlete who is 26 years old? So we've got target heart rate is equal to 0.8, 80% of the theoretical maximum heart rate. So that's our formula, basically. Now, we take it one step further, right? Because they tell you that the maximum heart rate is found by subtracting the athlete's age from 220. So 220 minus age. So there you go. That is the more complete version of that formula. All right. Now they want you to figure out target heart rate for someone who's 26. So you plug 26 into this formula, and you get 220 minus 26, like that. So this gives me 0.8 times 196, 194, I believe. And don't make that mistake. So 0.8 times 194 is 155. So number 7, the answer is B. Find the number of 2-digit positive integers whose digits total 7. So the number has 2 digits. Let's call them A and B. And they're saying that A plus B has to equal 7. All right, no problem. Let's see. 7 and 0, that would work. 6 and 1, 5 and 2, 4 and 3, 3 and 4, 2 and 5, 1 and 6, 0 and 7, like that. But be careful, 0 and 7 is not a 2-digit number. I did put 2 digits there, but it basically becomes 7. So don't use that one. So I think these are the only ones. I'm pretty sure of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So number 8, the answer is B. The average of 5 numbers in a list is 54. The average of the first 2 numbers is 48. What is the average of the last 3 numbers? So we've got 5 numbers, A plus B plus C plus D plus E. And if you take their average, it's 54. And they tell you that the average of the first 2 numbers, A plus B, is 48. They want you to figure out what is the average of the last 3, or the last 3, remaining 3. So basically they're saying find this. Find C plus D plus E divided by 3. Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. Let's work with the original equation. We've got A plus B plus C plus D plus E is 54 times 5 if I cross multiply like that. Okay, and then this guy right here basically means that A plus B is equal to 2 times 48 if you cross multiply there. So that becomes 96. So A plus B, I can just put 96 right there. C plus D plus E. And 5 times 54 is 270. So now C plus D plus E, I can use my subtraction, 270 minus 96, which is 174. All right, we are very close to getting this right here. Now we just have to figure out C plus D plus E divided by 3. All right, divide 3 both sides. So now it's just 174 over 3, which is 58. And there you have it. That is exactly what they wanted us to figure out. So the answer is 58. Number 9, therefore, is D. Handy Aaron helped a neighbor 1.25 hours on Monday, 50 minutes on Tuesday, from 8:20 to 10:45 on Wednesday morning, and a half hour on Friday. He is paid $3 per hour. How much did he earn for the week? Okay, so Monday, 1.25 hours. Tuesday, 50 minutes. Wednesday, 8:20 to 10:45, so that's 2 hours and 25 minutes. Thursday, there's no Thursday. Friday is 30 minutes. All right. So the best thing to do is convert all of these to hours because we've got $3 per hour. So 1.25 in terms of decimals is 1.25. 50, okay, that's 50 minutes over 60 minutes. So if I'm going to make that into a decimal, it'll be about 8.3. We've got 2 hours and 25 minutes, so that's 2 and 25 over 60. So that is 2.416 approximately. And then 30 minutes is 30 over 60, which is 0.5. So add up all these, add this guy, that, and we'll get approximately 5 hours total. Now he works 5 hours at a rate of $3 an hour, and therefore he makes a grand total of $15. So number 10, the answer is E. When I first started working in 1989, when I was a teenager, in Canada, I was getting paid minimum wage, and it was $4.55 an hour. So I am very well acquainted with low wages.